Happy Monday. Welcome to Gentle Yoga for All Levels. I'm going to kind of trick you in this practice with a pose that's not so gentle, but we'll spend most of the class working up to a pose called 8-angle or crooked sage pose. But before we get there, I'm just going to invite us all to take a seat, wiggle back and forth. Maybe you're sitting on your cushion. Maybe you're right on the floor, but just find the sitting bones underneath you. Bring yourself to a very tall sit, right? A tall spine, reaching through the crown of the head. Roll your shoulders a couple of times to see if you can get a little bit of that tension to soften around the shoulders. And then when you're ready, with palms down on your legs, close your eyes and just notice breath. You don't have to do breathing, just notice breath happening. As you notice breath happening, you might notice some parts of your body that are achy or sore or tired, maybe even injured. And just notice, maybe send breath, healing, loving breath to those places. And then we're going to practice a breath early on here that I like to call bright breath. And it feels kind of like you're sniffing in through the nose, and it's just, imagine this just lighting up your brain. So everybody just take a really big sniff in, and then a sigh to exhale. And we'll do that a few times. And just visualize that oxygen swirling in your brain. And feel your body relax on your exhales. One more time, bright breath. And then just relax that breath pattern and start to breathe in a rhythmic way. So maybe that's counting 3 on your inhale and 3 on your exhale, or maybe it's 4 or 5. With your eyes closed and your hands relaxed, just let your breath be even. So in Hindu mythology, there's a story of a sage. And when he was in his mother's womb, his father would recite the Vedas to him. And one time the father recited them inaccurately. He kind of screwed up and pronounced one of the Vedas inaccurately. And the baby sage inside of his mother's womb laughed. He laughed out loud. And the father was incensed. He was so angry that this baby would laugh at him from inside the womb. So he put a curse on this child. And the curse was that the child would be bent in 8 areas of his body. So we're going to kind of celebrate the crooked sage, or the 8 angles of the body that have to be bent to get into this pose. At the end of the story, he became a great sage, a great guru. And so this is a story of strength and willpower and overcoming in order to find stability and peace. So let's take a deep breath, arms reaching overhead, stretch as tall as you can, and then bend your elbows into the cactus shape. And then we're just going to kind of scarecrow arms here. So we're just going to tilt the arms up and down. So we'll spend our time here, and you're just going to take a nice little tour through the body. We're going to work all those 8 angles. And this is the first, this bent elbow. So you might even flex your hands as you're doing this. And imagine putting your hands on the floor and having your elbows bent like this. All right, and then release your hands to your sides. Let's take a twist. This posture is a twisting posture, so we'll do a lot of twisting today. This first time through, just feel yourself lifting tall through the spine and looking over your shoulder. And then switching sides, one arm comes across to sit really tall and exhale, just wringing out. Throughout this practice, keep taking those bright breaths, maybe not so exaggerated, unwind, but just bringing breath into your brain. Let's inhale, pull the chest forward, and exhale, press the ribs back. Seated cat and cow with bright breath. So just visualizing this warm, healing breath, just encircling your brain, making things a little brighter and lighter. And then one more time, roll the shoulders back, scoop the left arm up, come way up and over the left side. We're gonna bend the elbow here. And then you're just gonna roll the elbow toward the knee and pull the elbow back. Right breath, sigh to exhale. Open up that elbow as far back as you can. Turn to look at your hand. And then release, raise the right arm. Come way up and over, bend the elbow and begin that action of elbow to knee and elbow behind. Just exploring the trunk. So in this sage, the trunk is sideways and also twisted. So we want to make sure our torso is good and warm before we get to that last posture. Let's take one more breath in as we bring that arm up and back. Squeeze the shoulder onto the back. Look up at your hand. And release. Very nice, everybody. Shift around to tabletop position. And if you have a block or a cushion, I'd like to use this for our foreheads for a moment. So we're going to take our knees wide and our big toes together. Let's let the forehead rest on one side of the block and then stretch the arms out. So we're just going to take a little bit of strain out of the shoulders by resting our head. You can try a few different angles. Draw some bright breaths in here with a sigh. When you feel ready, rise up to a tabletop. And if it's hard to put pressure on your hands, you can come into elbow tabletop. And either way, on hands or elbows, inhale to pull your chest forward, exhale to round your spine. So a cat and cow here. And we're going to keep this movement going, but we're going to add a limb. So the next time you inhale, reach one arm out in front of you and then replace, coming into cat. Inhale, opposite arm in front of you. Exhale into cat. We'll do the same thing with the legs. As you come into cow, lift one leg. Exhale to cat. Let's roll through the four limbs again. Inhale, one limb lifting. And then find your cat pose. One arm lifting. And then coming into either downward facing dog or dolphin. If you're taking care of a wrist or hand, dolphin is a really great option. We can keep the weight out of the wrist. So either one, a little bit of a pedal toward your heels, sitting bones to the sky. And then returning to the knees, let's come up to stand on our shins. You can put padding under the knees if you like. Bring your hands to your glutes, press your hips forward, and let's return to this even breath. We're going to try to lengthen our breathing to 8 counts. So if that's not comfortable for you, you can keep it at 4 or 5 or 6, but just try 8. 8 in, 8 out, and it can be fast counting. But since we're doing an 8-limbed pose, let's try on 8 count breath. And returning to neutral. Coming back down to either hands or forearms. I'll demonstrate it on forearms. You can be on your hands. We're going to take one knee out to the side and make circles. You can go both ways. Just warming up our hip joint. And then let's switch. In both directions. Hip circles. And bringing ourselves back to tabletop, let's sweep the left foot forward. Come down into a kneeling lunge. You can keep your hands on the floor or gently press up to the knee, finding a hip flexor stretch. Give yourself time to kind of back in and out of this pose. The hip flexor is stubborn. It doesn't like to hold on. We've just taught it to be bent, right? To be held all the time. So give it a little bit of patience and ease. Let's bring our hands to the floor inside that foot, and we're just going to juice our hip again here in this way. So dropping the knee out and pulling the knee in. You're welcome to be on hands or maybe on a block. You can put one of your elbows on a block. Or maybe it feels good to come all the way down to the floor. Rolling to that outer foot and back to a flat foot. And then that knee drops out to the side and holds. This is going to be an important position for us later. So just noticing what happens here with our leg externally rotated like this. And then coming back, bring that knee behind. Let's settle back into child's pose. The two sides feeling a little different. Rock your hips side to side. Sigh. And shift forward. You can stay low or you can press up high. So a lot of you saw my push for this class on social media, and I put this big pose on there. And this practice, Astravakrasana pose, is a practice of not judging a book by its cover. So people might have looked at this crooked sage and judged him as incapable. And then when you see him in this pose, you see that his body was actually designed for this pose. Bring your hands to the ground and start to juice your hip. So sometimes we might see a picture of a pose and we might say, I can't do that. And you just might be surprised at what your body can do. Let's leave that knee out. We're on the outside of our foot and just let that hip get used to this open position. Breath in, breath out. And then draw that knee back up. Let's tuck the back toes and we'll step the back foot to meet the front foot, and we'll find ourselves in a forward fold. So put a nice deep bend in the knees, touch fingers to elbows, let your head hang down. Another bright breath into your brain, maybe a sigh. Pressing hands to shins, lift halfway. And then reach the arms all the way up, overhead, extended mountain. And once again, let's cactus those arms. And we'll do our scarecrow arms again, but now we're going to add chair. So as the palms come down, we sit in chair, and then we lift and open. You'll find that we all have different range of motion in our shoulders, right? So find your limitation, find where the action stops for you. One more time, lift up tall. Interlace your fingers, feet are hip distance apart or so, and then let's side bend. Reach up and over. Slow 8-count breaths, or maybe they're fast 8-count breaths. Switch sides. And hopefully your body is getting warm, loose, ready for some deeper practice. Come back to center and then just release your hands to your side. Pause for a moment in your straight body. A moment of gratitude for knees that can be straight, for hips that can extend, a spine that is straight, arms that can open. Gratitude just for the freedom to stand in this body today. Let's reach the arms high. Deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward. On the inhale, step the left foot back, just tuck the toes. On the exhale, drop the knee to the ground, and we're going to shift back into hamstring stretch. Inhale, come forward again onto the knee. Press up to a little higher back bend. Exhale to draw backwards again, hamstring stretch. Inhale, come forward, tuck the back toes, and step to forward fold. Lifting halfway, sweep the arms up, and bring your hands to your heart. Let's repeat that. We'll do that on the other side. Rise high. Bow low. Inhale, step the right foot back. Exhale, drop the knee and glide back into hamstring. Inhale, come forward, press to the knee, find your little back bend. And exhale back to hamstring. Coming forward, tuck the toes, lift the knee, and melt into forward fold. Inhale, arms reach, and come back to the heart. Let's do that again. Rise high. Bow low. Inhale, left foot goes back. Drop the knee. Exhale, hamstring stretch. Inhale, come forward, press up. Exhale to the hamstring. Inhale, tuck the back toes, lift the knee, forward fold. Rise high. and hands to heart. Beautiful. Let's go one more time. Lift up. Bow low. Inhale, step the right foot back, drop the knee. Exhale, hamstring. Inhale, lean forward, press up. Exhale, back, hamstring. Inhale, come forward, tuck the toes, lift the knee. Exhale, forward fold. Rise up, take a deep, bright breath in and bring your hands to your heart. Pause. Staying right here, inhale, press your pinky fingers together. Exhale, release. Inhale, press your ring fingers together. Exhale, release. Inhale, press your middle fingers together, bright breath. Exhale, release. Inhale, press your index fingers together. Exhale, release. Inhale, press your thumbs together. Exhale, release. Let your arms come to your sides. Let's step back with our left foot, and we're going to stay on our toes of our left foot, reaching the fingers high. Come into this high lunge position. And we're moving into a deeper twisting lunge. Our body's a little warmer now, so maybe scooch those toes back, deepen the bend of the knee on the hip. And then bring the hands to the heart. We're going to shift forward, but don't go where you think we're going to go. Come way over this front leg and bring your right elbow to the inside of the right knee. Come to the inside of the right knee. Let that elbow glide down a bit and then gently open to your left side. This is going to feel really weird. We always twist the opposite way. So pressing against that inner knee, open your body to the left. And come back to center. Now we get to go the normal way. So left elbow to right knee. Press and twist. Return back to center. Drop that back heel. Let's lift up warrior one. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Press your back foot into the mat. Bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, press pinky fingers together. Exhale, release. Inhale, in ring fingers together. Exhale, release. Bright breath. Inhale, middle fingers pressed together. Exhale, release. Inhale, index fingers. Exhale, release. And inhale, thumbs pressed together. Exhale, release. Sweep the arms up. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, fingertips to the mat. Back foot to front foot. Forward fold. Feeling left side of the body and right side of the body. Let's scoot our right foot back, come onto the toes, and rise up. High lunge. Take a moment here to scoot those toes back to find your lunge. Hands come to heart center, shifting forward. Come all the way forward and then left elbow inside left knee. So we do an outside twist. And scoot that arm down as far as you can. This is actually going to be the base of our pose later, trying to get the hand here outside that foot eventually. So for now, we're just twisting open. It feels weird. Come back to center and rotate the opposite way, twisting to the left. Lengthen through the spine. Don't stop breathing. 8 counts in, 8 counts out. And they can be fast counts. Come back to center. Drop the back heel, rise up, warrior one. Feel your strength here. There's more stability in this posture. Look up, reach high, and then draw your hands to heart center, fingers spread wide. You might close your eyes. Inhale, press pinky fingers together. Exhale, release. Inhale, ring fingers together. Exhale, release. Inhale, middle fingers together. Exhale, release. Inhale, pointer fingers together. Exhale, release. And thumbs press. And release. Arms reach high. Exhale, fingertips to the mat. Step the back foot to meet the front foot. Come back into your forward fold. Pause and notice left side and right side. Heel toe your feet a little bit wider and start to walk your fingers to the outer edges of your feet. Start to feel a twist and some space around your lower back. Another thing we get to learn from this practice is that we are so much more than our appearance and our performance. We're just here to witness, to observe life inside this human body. Come back to center, heel toe your feet closer, and we'll step our left foot back, sweeping the arms into warrior two. Find your warrior two pose. Let's inhale, reverse warrior. Open up through the side body. And on the exhale, coming into side angle pose. So this will be a good preparation pose for where we're headed. Let's leave the top arm out of this for just a moment and feel the lightness of the elbow on the thigh. I want you to see about bringing those fingers down, and if you need a block here, that's fine too. Just bring the hand down to the inside of your right foot and press your arm into your knee. So let there be kind of that twisting open sensation again that we did earlier. Now reach the arm. So let your arm and your leg have a little kind of a power struggle. They're both pressing into each other. You can leave the arm overhead or reach over your ear. Just keep this action happening super strong between the knee and the elbow. And breathe. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Let's straighten that front leg. Right breath. And returning to warrior two. We'll switch our feet. Back of our mat, other side. Find your warrior two. If you used a block on the first side, bring it with you, have it ready. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Steady breath, 8 counts in, 8 counts out. Coming into side angle prep. So elbow to thigh, really, really light. That'll kind of tell you where the depth of your hips can be. And then we'll start to seek the floor or a block with our left hand. And then your arm presses into your inner leg. Your leg presses back to your arm. We're having a little power struggle. Once you feel that, add the arm up or over the ear. So really intentionally strong, arm to leg, leg to arm. And breathe. Reverse the warrior, let that left leg straighten. It should be happy about this. And warrior 2. Turn all 10 toes to the side of your mat. Bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, press pinky fingers together. Exhale, release. Inhale, press ring fingers. Exhale, release. Bright breath. Inhale, middle fingers together. Exhale, release. Inhale, pointer fingers. Release. And finally, thumbs. Bringing hands to the hip crease. Shift forward from the hips with a flat back and lower down into a wide straddle forward fold. Shake out the head, yes and no. Let yourself kind of drape forward here with ease, with slow breath. Let's slide our hands back between our feet. So hands and feet are all on the same plane, the same line. And if you look, you'll see that your elbows are bent and your knees are probably bent as well. So we're just going to bend and see if you can tap your thighs onto the backs of your arms. If you're nursing a wrist issue, you can be on your fists here. Just keep your elbows bent and see if you can find the back of your arms, triceps, with the inside of your thighs. Look at all the angles happening here. Ankle, knee, hip, wrist, and elbow. I have a bunch of angles happening. So we're going to come down and hold at a place where you feel comfortably uncomfortable. So a little bit of weight on the backs of your arms. This is set up for Basana or firefly pose. If that's in your practice, you can lift your legs. I'm just going to stay right here as a hip opener. And then release. If you have a block, you can bring it with you. So we're going to turn the toes out and we're just going to lunge side to side. You can keep your hands on one level of the block or the floor, your choice. Opening through the inner thighs. And as we go toward the front of our mat, that's going to be your right foot. Let's again bring the hand to the inside of the foot and let's create that sense of a little power struggle there. You can use a block if you like. But it's going to start to feel like you're putting weight onto your arm. Kind of lean forward into the arm, and that's going to create a really great stretch. Great meaning big, maybe not great like good. Really big stretch in the inner groin and thigh. And then switch, come over to the back side of your mat, the left leg, put the hand next to the foot, and then just kind of lean into your arm. I hope I'm describing that well. It should be uncomfortable, but also doable. You can be on a fist if you need to. You can be on a block. And then we're coming back to center. Let's turn toward the front edge of our mat. And we're coming into everyone's favorite now, pigeon. Okay, so let's start by dropping the back knee. And then let's heel toe the foot way back to where we can drop our right knee to where our right wrist is. That's our first stop right there. And then I like to tuck the back toes and just scoot that knee backwards. I like to enter the pose that way, kind of moving backwards into it instead of forward. Finding a place where the knee doesn't hurt. And then coming down into pigeon. Using your hands or a block for a pillow. So this practice is also about releasing our own bondage, freeing ourselves up from what we think things should look like, freeing ourselves from a need to perform, freeing ourselves from the I can'ts and I shoulds, to just be able to live in the experience of life as it shows up. And we are all in this together, everyone with a different body, everyone at a different point on their journey. Eight count breath in, 8 count breath out. Let's slowly press ourselves up to fingertips and get another lift, another back bend. Oh, it feels so good. And then we're just going to switch sides. So you might come to tabletop, or you might have another way that you like to get into your pigeon. Left knee by left wrist, no pain, no sharp pain in that left knee. And then if you like to try it, tuck your toes and scoot backwards into pigeon. You're ready, find some place to rest your head. And find that 8 count inhale, 8 count exhale. Let your jaw and your face relax, any tension they've been holding. And slowly release to press up onto light fingertips, just a little back bend, a little hip flexor stretch. And then bringing ourselves around to a seat. We're going to take our legs out first into a nice wide straddle and just bounce your legs into the earth. Might feel good to have hands behind you and just give yourself a little support here. Okay, so take the legs as wide as you can comfortably with a straight spine. And then we're just going to lean forward. You can leave your hands behind or bring them with you. Just try to stay on the front of your sitting bones. And breathe. Bright breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. If you're comfortable moving forward, you might bring a block under your head or just reach forward. Try to stay on the front of your sitting bones a little bit more. And then let's press up. Slowly bounce the legs in and together. All right, we have arrived at the point of class where we are going to take a journey into Astravakrasana, the crooked sage or the 8-limbed pose. So we begin our journey with feet on the floor, and we'll take a figure 4. So let's take our right ankle on top of our left knee and hands behind. So you can think of this like a road trip. Like I'm driving from Salt Lake City to Las Vegas, and we're going to have about 5 stops along the way. Anywhere that you want to stay at that rest stop and just hang out, you can, and we'll come back and get you on the way home. This posture is a posture that takes time. It took me years to get to where I am now, and I still can work on improving the posture. So it's a practice of just being where you are at any given point in time. Maybe right here, you just want to stay and watch the whole thing play out. If you'd like to join us for the next rest stop, it's called Cradle the Baby. And so you would take your foot and your hand onto your ankle and your knee, straighten your bottom leg, and you can just hang out right here. You can wrap with your elbows instead of your hands. And some people like to scoop their arms up underneath their leg like that. So maybe find a way to hold your leg in Happy Baby. Try to have a tall spine. One thing that feels really good to me is to hold onto the ankle and then just roll out my hip. Give yourself a little glute massage. Imagine there's a tennis ball under there and just massage your glute. So this is a wonderful rest stop. This is a great place to stay, just stretching and rolling your hip. The next stop, we're going to come into what feels like Happy Baby. So we're going to take the right hand to the outside of that right foot, and we're going to pull the knee back. So from the side, it's going to look like my knee is coming back. Well, if possible, try to get your knee behind you. So like if you were on your back, this would be Happy Baby. So you got half Happy Baby. Another place to just hang out. If your hips are really tight, they probably need to be here for a while and learn this position. All right, stay here or go to the next stop. So next stop, left hand to right heel, right arm scoops under the knee. So I'm going to bring my arm right into the bend of the knee, and the closer I can get to my shoulder, the better. Then I plant my hand. Okay, so if you can wave with your feet, you are in the right place. And that's another great place to stay. So you'd want to try to get into a forward fold, press into your hands, and just let that leg hang out on the back of your arm. So far, so good. So you've got about 4 choices now. Next option, you have to come out of the pose a bit to cross your ankles. So I'm squeezing my arm behind my knee. Great place to stay. Now we're working on core strength. So the final stop, we're going to bullet into Las Vegas. I'm going to shift my weight onto my hands, lift my hips, squeeze my knees onto my arm, and I'm going to kick the wall. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's see if it works. Oh, yes. So I'm resting on the back of my right arm. Oh. Woo. Dang. Whatever happened right there, you're going to shake it off. You got lots of choices. So shake out your hands if you've been on your hands. And then scoop your hands into your chest. Close your eyes. Inhale, press pinky fingers together. Exhale, release. Inhale, ring fingers. Exhale, release. Inhale, middle finger, bright breath. Release. Inhale, index fingers. Release. And inhale, thumbs. Exhale. Okay. Stack inside. We got to come back. So Las Vegas back to Salt Lake City. We're coming to get you. So we start seated with the left ankle on the right knee. Hands behind, foot flexed, knee pushes away. An awesome place to stay. If we were coming from Vegas, this would be Mesquite. I always stay in Mesquite. It's a great place to stay. Breathe deeply. And if you'd like to go a little further, take a hand to the ankle and a hand to the knee, cradle the baby. You got all those options. You can scoop through, you can wrap your elbows. And we'll call this stopping in St. George. It's warmer there than it is here. Great place to stay. You can roll out your hip, go get yourself a massage. You can do a little golf. Just hang out here in St. George. Because from there to Salt Lake, it's getting colder, so judge wisely. So next up, if you're coming with us, take a hold of the outside of the foot and pull back, come into half happy baby. So if you can get that knee behind your shoulder, you're probably going to be set up for the next step. If not, if you're kind of here, there's your work, there's your practice. So we'll call this Cedar City. Not much there, but it is close to Bryan Head Resort, so maybe you can head up the mountain while you're here. Great place to stay. All right, next stop, right hand to left heel, scoop your left arm under and really take some time to pull that arm into the bend of the knee before you put your hand down. Because you want to come forward and have a shelf. You almost want to have chaturanga arms there. And you can wave with your foot. That foot's not on the floor. All right, let's call this, I don't know, Fillmore, Utah, Fillmore Beaver area. My favorite joke. All right, ready? The next stop, we're gonna cross our ankles, right? And really hug in tight through the core. We're gonna bullet straight through. No one wants to stop in Utah County. We're gonna go straight to Salt Lake City. So weight on the hands, lift the hips, squeeze the legs, kind of spin your ear toward the floor. And if you look forward, that kind of completes the posture. Ooh. All right, we're going to shake off whatever happened or didn't happen there. We had a great journey together. Let's come down onto our backs. Knees bent, hands at the heart. Close your eyes. Inhale, press your pinky fingers together. Exhale, release. Inhale, ring fingers. Exhale, release. Inhale, middle fingers. Exhale, release. Inhale, pointer fingers. Exhale, soften. Inhale, thumbs. Exhale, release. Draw the soles of your feet together. Drop your knees open. Arms come down to your sides. Wiggle till your shoulder blades feel like they're resting easily on the earth. Turn your head left and right and find its resting place. Breathe in 8 and out 8. If you are comfortable, stay right here. If this creates strain or stress in your back, extend your legs out a little wider than normal. Your hips are loose, so they're probably going to feel good kind of out in a star shape. And we're just going to drop right into Shavasana. Coming into rest, see if you can breathe slowly, 8 counts in and 8 counts out. Back to a straight body, all the crooked parts straight. Released from our own bondage through this story of overcoming. Astravakra, the wise sage, was quoted in the Vedas as saying, "Bondage is when the mind longs for something. Bondage is when the mind longs for something, whether it is happiness, joy, pleasure, or wealth." And I will add maybe even a desire to do a fancy yoga pose. It is also when one grieves, rejects, or holds on to something. Bondage makes the mind tangled, but liberation releases the tangled mind. Where there is me, there is bondage. Where there is no me, one is free and liberated. So in a celebration of we and what we have overcome together, let's together take another bright breath in. It's a long exhale like a sigh. And begin to wiggle fingers and toes. Stretch your body out long. Take all of the crooked angles out. And on the next exhale, squeeze your knees to your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Roll to one side and bring yourself back to a seat. We'll bring our palms together for 5 more breaths. Bright breath. Inhale, press pinky fingers together. Exhale loud to release. Right breath, ring fingers. And release. Middle fingers. And out. Index fingers. And out. And finally, thumbs. And out. With our chin to our chest, gazing softly over our fingers, honoring all of the crooked parts within us, our limitations, honoring a practice that reminds us that it's not appearance or performance, but rather what we learn from our limitations that help us overcome, finding a place of stability and peace. Namaste. Hi, my friend. Thanks for taking time for yourself today. If you ever want to practice with me live over Zoom, jump over to my website, denisestruce.as.me, grab a class. They're all free or by donation, or just continue enjoying these videos here.